It is official. Silver has hit fifth. No, not 50. 55. No, not 55. $60 an ounce. This is insanity. Round of applause for everyone here who's bought silver in the past year, in the past 5 years, in the past 10 years. If you've ever bought silver, round of applause. We are at a new all-time high, baby. Let's go. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I remember when I first started buying silver, it was like $15 an ounce, and everyone was saying silver's never going to 20. Well, we went to 20. And then everyone was saying silver's never going to 30, to 40, and it's never going to hit a new all-time high. Well, we've done that. All right, that's yesterday's news. Silver is now up $2.50 on the day. It has surged past $60 an ounce. And I don't even know what to say. I can't believe it. It's great, though. I definitely think silver could hit 70. I see you in the chat there, Jess. Yes, I think we're going to hit 70. I think it's not going to stop there either. I mean, when we hit 50, a lot of people actually did say, smart people, it's going to be a quick run up to 60. We've seen that. We had one day where it went up $3. Now we've gone up $2.50 in a day. I mean, look at these moves, right? But from a percentage standpoint, when silver was 15 and went to 16, that was a huge move. Now it's, 58 going to 60, 61, whatever. Similar move, right, percentage-wise. Give or take. All right, public math is hard, but this is just crazy right now. Let's take a look at the gold-silver ratio coming down to 69. Let that sink in. 69 gold-silver ratio. This is the lowest we've seen in 4 years. You got to go all the way back to, I think, March of 2021. Let's confirm that. Yeah, no, it's definitely 2021 was the last time it was this low. Yeah, you got to go back to, okay, July. July of 2021 was the last time we had a GSR below 70, which is just absolutely nuts. I'm seeing people all around the world in the chat. $90 an ounce in Australia. Whoa. That's crazy. I was just in Australia not too long ago. What was it, a month, 2 months ago? And they were saying, yeah, all-time high. Silver's going to keep going up, and it certainly is. My gosh. You're going to hit $100 an ounce in Australia. I'm seeing people say in the chat, should I sell? I don't think. I mean, look, I don't know your situation. Silver's never been this high before. So, is it a bad move to sell? It depends on why you're stacking, right? I think we're all stacking for different reasons. I'm certainly not selling. I'm not selling a single ounce of silver, even though it's at an all-time high. It's never been here before. And we're going to look at some charts. We're going to look at some stuff. But let's just go back to silver. I'm 250 today. Look at this chart. This is the all-time chart. Let's go year to date. Silver started the year out $28.92. We have over doubled. And it's great to see. It's great to see. A lot of people showing up here in the chat. Over 500 people watching now live. Thank you all for being here. It's just a random Tuesday. 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific, and here we are looking at silver price. This is fun, isn't it? This is fun. It's definitely a lot more fun to make videos when the price is going up as compared to when it's tanking. There was that one point this year where silver went to 54 and then it bottomed at 46. So we had an $8 downswing, sort of right in the middle of the year. And we have recovered from that. Oh boy, have we recovered. Yeah, a lot of people saying selling my digital dollar. That's right. That's right. I mean, can you be stacking at these prices? Yeah, I think you can. As long as you're not going crazy, as long as you're not selling the house, selling your house, taking out a second mortgage, putting silver on credit cards. Don't do any of that stuff. That stuff is always crazy, always a bad idea, in my opinion. Is it okay to buy at these prices? Absolutely. You can only start where you can start, right? And if you start at $60, that's better than starting at 70. But yeah, dollar cost average, buy in tranches. That's how we do it. And I do have a Q&A started. I'm going to start doing the Q&A in a sec. But first, I want to get through some stuff. We got a lot of stuff to get through. Dollar index. The dollar is up today. And silver and gold are both up as well. So something crazy is going on. Something unusual is going on today. And I think it has to do with, there was a jobs report released, a bunch of data that was not out because of the government shutdown. That was released today, and basically right when that came out, that's when silver jumped up. So I think the jump up today has to do with that, and the idea that we're probably going to see that rate cut tomorrow. Take a look at the percentages. Look at this. 87.4. It's like a 9-to-1, right? It's like 9-to-1 that we're going to get another rate cut tomorrow. And people don't really understand what's going on with the rates and why it affects silver and gold. The idea is that inflation is not dead. Okay, they wanted to get inflation down to their 2% goal. They had to, mess with the metrics to make it look like they got kind of close. They changed a bunch of things around. And so they did not get to their goal in regard to inflation. So we still have inflation, and yet they're cutting rates. They've been cutting rates. They're going to be cutting again tomorrow, most likely, which is just insanity. For, like, if you want to crush the dollar, this is how you do it, pretty much. I mean, this is like the recipe for getting the dollar to go down, and that's why we're seeing metals go up. We're also seeing banks buy obscene amounts of gold. And the other thing with silver is that we're running out of silver. I mean, let's just put it bluntly. We've known this for a long time. I'm going to go back to the pricing. Are we going to hit 61 while we're live? Wouldn't that be nuts? We almost have 900 people watching now. What if we hit 61? In fact, if we go to futures, we're already at 61. All right, I know it's like kind of off on the side of the screen, but look at that. 61 on futures. We'll go back to spot. We're already at 61 on futures, though. And climbing. People are saying 70 by Christmas. Can you imagine? I mean, I can't imagine. And, in fact, last Thanksgiving, I was talking with a family member. They're saying, what are your predictions for silver next year? Where do you think it's going? And I'm like, I don't know, like higher. And I'm always conservative with my predictions. I think this year I predicted like $35 or $40 silver, something modest. It was a modest prediction, not 60. I did not see this coming. But I told him, I said next year, 70, 75. Now I'm like, we could hit a hundo. We actually could hit a hundo, especially with how fast silver's moving. So, yeah, we're going to get to the Q&A. I do want to show this here. Bloomberg on X. Can we talk about this for 1 second, please? I did a video on it yesterday. It got like 40,000 views. Kind of a decent video. I mean, look, I'm not complaining about the views. This has been the best year ever for this YouTube channel. A lot of other silver and gold related channels. We've all had great years. It's amazing. Not a lot of people watched the video yesterday, and we highlighted something interesting about the supposed outage that CME is saying that they had when the futures market was down for like 10, 11 hours the night of Thanksgiving into Black Friday. And I don't know, guys, the more I think about it, it seems shady. It seems really, really, really shady, because they're now saying it was a human error. They forgot to drain the tanks that froze, and it was a chiller plant failure. But the more I look into this, it's like there's things to prevent that. I mean, it wasn't that cold. If it was like 60 degrees below, zero or something, you're like, all right, whatever kind of like de-icer they have in there is not going to work at that temperature. It wasn't that cold. So the fact that they're saying, you know, it froze and then everything was back to normal in 11 hours. I just am not buying it. I mean, all the other cases where the data center chiller plant failures had, it was like a week or even multiple months to get everything back online and running. So I don't know, guys. We'll probably talk about it more, but something shady is going on. I think there was something big going on. We know there was something big going on with silver. And think about the logs who took that deal. They were like, oh, you know, we'll take $1.77 over spot and we'll just get paid out in cash. I mean, let's say they were trying to get 1 million ounces. That's like a couple $1,000,000, right? They're just getting a check for. They're like, all right, that's fine. But if they just waited, I mean, silver's up so much since then. It's nuts. It's nuts. One more thing I want to show you guys. Look at this. We got gold, silver, HQ. Rest in peace, $60 silver. $70 is next. $70 is next. Is it going to be this year? I don't know. I don't know. I think silver's going to keep going up, though. And let's get back to spot price, and then I'm going to go Q&A. But silver spot above 60. This is a historic day. It is December 9th, 2025. We've never seen silver go this high. Actually, one more thing before we get to the Q&A. I want to show you guys one more thing. The annual percentage change. Look at the chart. 109% for the year. That is wild. That is wild. It's a roller coaster. It really is. I mean, this is the second best year that silver has ever had on record. And it's not even really that close. We go to the third best year ever, which was 2010. Silver was up 80%. Fourth best year, 1967. Yankee stacking was 1 year old. Shout out Yankee. What's up, my man? Yankee. Want to see some more videos, Yankee? We need to see what's up at Tim's. I bet there's a line around the freaking block. But anyway, 72% that year. And the you know, the elephant in the room, the big year, silver went up 434%, 1979. That was the Hunt brothers. They almost broke the entire system. Like, not just silver, everything. They almost broke everything. You know, all trading, all currencies. What was it? The FTC had to step in. Say you literally can't buy silver, like paper silver. You can only go short. And the price crashed. It got cut in half in one day. We don't have to get into the whole story. But that was obviously 1979. That was an anomaly. That could probably never happen again, at least not in that way. So, you know, other than that anomaly, this is the best year silver has ever had. Again, up over 100% on the year. The year is not over yet. We still have 3 more weeks to go. Privament, thank you for the $6 super chat. They say $60 silver. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, and then one more thing we got to look at. We might come back to this later, but the annual average price up over $40. That's really cool to see. Really cool to see. And then think about next year. You know, let's say we start with silver around $50, $60. I don't know what it's going to be, but we start the year there. And if we climb, we're obviously going to have another record next year as far as annual average price, unless something crazy happens. You know, silver gets cut in half. I don't see that happening. I don't even know what scenario would have to go down for that to happen. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up I have the Q&A going. I'm going to click on it and see. I got to toggle to it. There we go. Questions. Okay. You guys got a bunch of questions in. Thank you all for hanging out. 1,200 people in the chat. We're live. Silver's over $60 an ounce. Question number 1. Do you believe silver to get over 100 per ounce by 2026? I do believe that it can happen. I absolutely believe that it can happen. Silver is up $32 this year. If it goes up another 32 next year, we're at 93. Yeah. Yeah. We 100% can get over 100 next year. And the thing is, like, let's say silver does go to 100. That's, it's a crazy number, but it could happen totally. And the GSR is not going to like take that big of a hit. It's not going to be setting records or anything if silver does that. Well, could it go to 150? What about 200? I mean, when does the mania phase start? It hasn't started yet. The general public is not buying out every ounce of silver that they can. So, all right. Next question. What is your new end of year projection for this year? At this point, I don't know. We'll probably like, I would say we're probably going to end the year around this 60. My honest thoughts though are that tomorrow when they probably do the rate cut, as weird as it sounds, I feel like silver is going to dip. It's probably dumb to say that. It probably won't, but it might. At least initially, I think it will, because let's go back to the this chart here. 9-to-1 chance silver. Well, 9-to-1 chance that the Fed cuts rates tomorrow, which ultimately is good for silver. But usually it's the buy the rumor, sell the news. So today everyone's buying the rumor that rates are going to get cut, and then they sell the news tomorrow once we get confirmation and silver goes to 59. That's kind of like what I think is going to happen. I could be totally wrong. I mean, I could be way off. Silver could go up $5 tomorrow. I could be way off. But I feel like this is what happened last time they cut rates. And so I'm just sort of basing it off of that. But either way, we hit 60 today. It's a new record. It's amazing. We're almost at 61. I mean, just think about that. Yeah, crazy times. So yeah, end of the year, I probably around 60 is kind of what I'm thinking for end of this year. End of next year, you're going to have to wait for that prediction, because I'm supposed to do a live on Yankees channel on I think it's like the 18th of December, our like finale for Silver Pros, and we're going to be giving our predictions for next year. So you'll have to wait and see, but I'm just going to tell you now, it's a big number. my end of the year prediction next year is a big number. Okay, next question. Do you think we'll see generics fetch better than under spot anytime soon? Yeah, it's a really good question. I was actually at the coin shop today, went down to Harry's, and that one I don't know. Because yeah, a lot of coin shops are buying back a spot. The refineries are buying back a spot. Online dealers are buying back a spot a lot of times on the generics. Some of them are still buying Eagles around spot, which is good. That is good. But I really don't know the answer to that. I would say the way that we see generics go back to spot for selling is going to be people are going to have to buy them up. The coin shops are going to have like no inventory. Then they're like, yes, please, we'll take it at spot. But that's still not happening. A lot of people are selling, and I can't blame them. How could you blame people for selling their silver when it's at an all-time high? I mean, I guess it is climbing, still, but how could you blame them, right? A lot of people thought we would never see this, and the fact that we are seeing it, this is confirmation of what we've been saying, what we've been talking about for years. Gold leads the way, silver follows. That's exactly what's happening. Gold went to 4,000. The banks are buying it up, and now finally silver's making this big run. On top of the fact that the world is actually kind of running out of silver, at least on paper. A lot of the silver is still in stackers' hands. A lot of it can come out of the woodwork if the price gets high enough. Like, what if silver goes to $100? Are you going to sell? What if silver goes to $500? Are you going to sell? 1,000? There's a price that everyone's going to sell at. So there's a lot of silver out there. On paper, the world is running out of silver, and I think people are realizing that. All right, next question. Well, it's a statement. Silver is the new gold. Yeah, it's doing really well. Next question. What's the possible reason for all of this? For the big run-up today, it looks like, in fact, if we go to the 1 day, I wonder if we could see, yeah, kind of right at 10. So if you look at the chart, this is it's exactly in line with when the jolts survey or whatever they call it was released from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Why did I have such a hard time saying that? Hold on, I'm going to take a sip here. So at 10 a.m. today, Eastern, that's when they released the survey. And it was the data from when the government was shut down, right? So this is like data that a lot of people have been waiting on. When is it going to come out? What is the jobs like? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Is it going to come out before the Fed meeting tomorrow? Well, we got the answer today at 10. It did come out, and it's looking like everything is in line for another rate cut. So that's the reason for this today. This is one of the big reasons. Is that all this backup data finally was released, and now the Fed's like, all right, we can cut rates. And so, I've showed it a few times already, but it's like a 9-1 tomorrow. It's tomorrow, by the way. Literally, we're going to know tomorrow, December 10th, 2025, if the Fed is cutting rates. And what is this, third, fourth rate cut? I don't know. And then, they'll obviously give statements on what they're thinking about for next year and all that kind of stuff. But probably getting a rate cut tomorrow. I think that's the reason for the big jump up today. And also just because the dollar's up as well. Like, if the dollar was getting crushed, I'd be like, okay, yeah, makes sense. Everything's up. Dollar's getting crushed. But that's not the case. The dollar is up at the moment. So a lot of stuff going on. That's the answer to that. We do have a lot of questions in here, by the way. Thank you guys for hanging out. Again, congratulations if you've been buying silver. This is crazy. $60. And the GSR below 70 for the first time in 4 years. I'm going to talk about the GSR real quick because there's a few questions about the GSR. Kind of what does it mean? What are the implications of it going below 70? So just real quick, the gold-silver ratio is how many ounces of silver it takes to buy 1 ounce of gold. Now, the sort of long-running average of GSR is lower than it is even now. It's in like the 50s or 60s, like low 60s, high 50s, somewhere in there. But we've seen the gold-silver ratio go much lower. We've seen it go to the 30s. Look at this. Back in April 2011, it went down to the 30s. The reason it's going down now is because silver is moving up faster than gold. So it's less ounces of silver to buy an ounce of gold. That's what this number is. You do the math, you take silver spot price, multiply it by this, you're going to get gold spot price. So the big implication of it going below 70, though, is that a lot of people, they'll decide if they want to buy gold or silver based on what the ratio is. And for me, it kind of changed when it went below 80, but a lot of people changed when it went below 70 to where they go from buying primarily silver, which is what I was doing all year. In fact, I bought like hardly any gold at all this year. Practically no gold. I bought a lot of silver this year. A lot of silver. Okay. But that was when the ratio was like up here, 100, 104, 100 and whatever. Just buying silver like crazy because the ratio is so high. Now that it's come down, now that it's below 70, a lot of people are saying, all right, it's low enough now to where it makes sense to buy silver and gold, or maybe just gold for some people. So this is really big change. And if it goes low enough, I think people are going to start selling their silver to buy gold. It's not low enough for me to do that yet. I really want to see it get below 60, ideally below 50. The lower it goes, the better. So big change here. But obviously the news today is silver going over 60. We almost have like 1,600 people watching, which is fantastic. Give yourselves a round of applause if you've been buying silver. This is confirmation today. Let's get back to the Q&A. All right. Someone's saying I have nearly $100 face value of 90% and can't sell it. That's really interesting. So the 90% silver debacle of 2025, the refiners refusing to buy it, therefore coin shops are refusing to buy it. That's starting to kind of go away because a lot of the refiners are buying it now. So the coin shops feel like they have a place to offload it. So the coin shops are starting to buy more and more of it. And you know, you can always sell it to an online dealer. I know shipping sucks. I know it's easier to walk into the coin shop. Look, if you had $100 face value of 90% and you're like, what should I do? I would say hold on to it. There's no way I would be selling it. But I know people need the money. You got to do what you got to do. It's an all-time high. I don't blame you if if people do sell. I understand it. But I personally wouldn't be selling, especially if that's all I had and I wanted to maybe use it for barter someday. But yeah, that is an interesting predicament, although I think it is going away. And again, ultimately, you could sell it to an online bullion dealer like SD Bullion, or, there's a bunch of other ones. But again, that's not ideal. It's easier to go into the coin shop, etc. So, okay, how low do I think the gold silver ratio could get? Great question. Let's go back to the GSR. We're down to 60. Look, the last time silver was at an all-time high, I just showed it. It went down to 33. 2011, April 18th, the GSR was at 33. But remember, gold was way lower than it is now. So for the GSR to get back down to 33, silver's got to go well over $100 an ounce. Yeah, because if silver goes to 100, that's 42 ratio. So, I mean, if we go over 100 next year, we could get that low. We could get down into like the 40s or 30s. Honestly, I don't know. I would say keep an eye on this number though, 33. If silver goes high enough to where the ratio is around there, then we're kind of like, all right, what's going on? Is the world actually out of silver? Because if the world is actually out of silver, then, the price could do crazy things. Gold was once $20 an ounce, and now it's 4,000. So, silver was 20. It could do crazy things, especially if we go into hyperinflation, all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, when they're mining silver out of the ground, it's coming out of the ground like 7-1. Actually, let me see if I can pull that up, because that's actually really good info. Let's see here. U.S. debt clock. By the way, U.S. debt clock is almost up to 38.5 trillion. Pretty nuts. Gold and precious metals. Here we go. This should be what we want. There's like 1,000 ads. Sorry, I'm trying to get rid of the ads. All right, I think it's good enough. Okay. So we have all of the ounces of gold mined so far this year in 2025. 103 million ounces. And we got all the ounces of silver mined so far this year in 2025, 777 million ounces. So you do the math, call it 7-1, 8-1, somewhere in there is the ratio of the metals coming out of the ground. Okay, now a lot of silver goes into industry and gets used up and can't be recovered. So it goes into landfills. Scotty, thank you for the super chat. Selling silver for fiat is insanity. I agree. A lot of the silver goes into landfills. It will never be recovered, right? Maybe in like 1,000 years, they'll figure out how to mine it back or something. I don't know. But so this is the mining ratio, but the amount of silver to gold that is like above ground and available is like 3-1 or 2-1. It's even smaller. So let's go back to the gold silver ratio. All right, so when you look at it's coming out of the ground 7 or 8-1, but the ratio to buy it is 70-1. Silver still seems like way undervalued. It's like super cheap as compared to where it could be. So I don't know. I think I would say next year, the lowest we see the ratio goes probably like in the 40s if silver goes to triple digits. That's my honest prediction, because I think gold's probably going to 5,000. Silver goes to 100. Then you're looking at 50-1. So maybe in like the high 40s is what we could see next year. Kind of like not best case scenario, but sort of like the lowest I see it going, just to answer that question. All right. Next question from Stacking Benjamins. Love that channel name. Am I going to the fun show, which is in Florida in like a month? Yes, my plan is to go to the fun show, and maybe just the first or second day, maybe just dealer setup day, and then one day I'm not sure. They don't really like filming there, which kind of sucks. So, I'm definitely not going for the whole show, but I might try and hit like the very front end of it, film it a little bit, and then post something so people can kind of see what's going on at the show. Especially if all the guys from Harry's Coin Shop go to the show, I'm probably gonna go. So, but my plan is at this point, yeah, going to the start of it. Okay. Are you one that thinks we'll have a currency reset in the coming years? Great question, Colton. I don't know, but I also don't think so. I mean, I guess it depends on how far out we're talking. I would say a currency reset, like the dollar going away and going to digital or something like that, we're still way off from that. I mean, I would say like 10, 20 years. I don't think that's happening this decade. Probably not. I guess it depends on, who gets elected, where the country goes, that kind of stuff. But I would say I would be very surprised if it happened in the next 10 years. I think it's farther out than that. Okay. Next question. At what point do we consider trading some silver for gold? Yeah, I think you got to let the ratio be your guide on that. I personally wouldn't do it until the ratio is below 60. So we're below 70 today. I think it's got to go below 60 to kind of start thinking about doing it. And obviously not trading all your silver for gold, but like a few, you bring in, however many ounces, you get an ounce of gold every now and again. I think that's probably fine when it's at 60. Ideally lower though, 50, 40, way better. You just get more gold for your silver. All right. What do I predict? Okay, we went to that one. A lot of questions on the GSR. We got one here from David. Stacker of 3 years now. Every time I'm ready to buy again, I regret not buying a month previous. Should I buy today or tomorrow? Great question. Yes. You buy today and you buy tomorrow. I actually did get a little bit of silver today at the coin shop. I forgot about that. I'm holding it right here. I don't have a camera. I can't show you, but I got this really sweet dragon ounce of silver. By the way, that's one thing I have noticed that I kind of talk about in the video I'm putting out tomorrow. There are a lot of sort of mid to high premium things being sold right now, and the coin shops are getting all of this like crazy silver with designs that normally would be worth $5 or $10 over spot, and they're selling it for kind of the same as everything else. I'm seeing that a lot. Every coin shop I go into, they have these weird silver ounces that we don't normally see, and I think now is actually kind of a decent time to be picking up that stuff. If you wanna pick up silver, it's like, why not get the more premium stuff if it's the same price? If you guys know what I'm putting down. And I kind of point that out in my video tomorrow, which is another coin shop video at Harry's. It's a super fun video. It's their reaction to silver hitting 60. What's going to happen tomorrow, though? Like, I honestly don't know. Is silver going to dip below? I said it earlier in the stream. I think it probably will dip below. This is kind of the way things go. It tests that new high, and then it dips, and then it goes back up, and that's kind of what you want to see. You don't want to see it just going up in a straight line forever, because then it could go down in a straight line forever. So this is healthy. This is really healthy. All right. Next question. Is it time to shed the lower quality stuff like 40% or random foreign coins? You can, but like I said earlier, coin shops, some of them aren't buying that stuff, or they're paying way less than they normally would. So I'm still holding on to all of that stuff. I'm not selling anything right now. Oh my gosh. Look at all the crabs in the chat. We must have the leader of the crustacean nation in the chat right now. And my boy, River Right Outdoors. What's up? Let's do some shout outs right now. You want me to shout out your channel name? Say what's up. I'm going to do some shout outs. Let's go. International Stacker. How you doing, brother? Let's see. We got Medic. We got Douglas. We got. It's almost going too fast. Matt. Jess. What's up? Rich. We're live. Let's go. Thank you for the super chat, Michael, or for joining. Dove is here. Oh man, it's going too fast. I can't even see him. But we're celebrating. It's good times. Thank you all for being here. It's really, really good times because silver has never been this high before. We are in uncharted waters. And I'm loving it. Okay. In fact, let's bring this back up one more time. Annual percentage change, 109.23% on the year. How could you complain about silver, especially when a lot of other things have gone down this year? You want to talk like some stocks, cryptos, like Bitcoin's down. You want to talk about other things, you know, I'm not complaining about silver one bit. I'm loving it right now. But I do feel like when we have days like this, you know, breaking new all-time highs, setting records, everyone's excited, you know, you want to go out and buy. I get it. I totally get it. But you got to remember, this is a long-term strategy. Stack and hold. There's so many new people to precious metals right now, and they kind of look at it like crypto or like a physical crypto. And they're like, oh, you know, you buy it, goes to the moon, sell it. That's not really what precious metals are for. That's not the mentality you should have. Oh, let me get rich quick and then get out. This is a stack and hold for life. That's what I'm trying to do. And if you accidentally get rich, you know, whoops, you know, you buy it for insurance, you buy it for worst case scenario, you buy it for the dollar collapse, you buy it for savings, you buy it as a hedge against inflation, you buy it for all these reasons. And yeah, if you accidentally make a lot of money, whoops, you know, that's not too bad of a side effect. All right. But you know, metals, there's a lot of good things about them. What's up, Tiger Stacker in the house? How you doing, my good friend? Good to see you. The whole community's showing up today. We have like 1,900 people. That's great. All right, let's get back to the Q&A. Stacker 3. Oh, we went to that one. Let's see. What year did I start stacking and what was spot price at the time? Great question. Well, we can just look it up on the chart. Let's see here. Got to go back in time to 2018. So I've been stacking for how many years now? Quite a few years. Kind of right in like late 2017, early 2018 is when I started. So silver was like 15, 16 bucks, kind of right in this pocket. That's sort of when I started. And then I remember buying silver, and then we had that little dip, right? 2018 went down to 14. Oh my gosh. Remember those days? $14 silver. And everyone's like, you're so dumb. You bought at 17. It went down to 14. I'm like, 14's low. 14 is crazy low. It's going way. It's definitely. I thought it was going to 20. I'm like, it's going to 20. I just want to see silver go to 20. That's all I want to see. Please, $20 silver. And then, you know, COVID happened. We had that huge jump up to 29. I was like, oh my gosh. This is the real deal, baby. And now we've doubled since the high after COVID. Let's see if I get this chart fixed. What am I doing with this chart? Let's just do it like that. There we go. And now that's actually kind of crazy too. Since the high after COVID, silver has doubled. Wow. I'm loving it. Okay, next question. When you make cost average purchases, do you buy the same amount of silver in dollars or ounces? Great question. You could do it however you want. I think a lot of people, when they kind of cost average, they like to sort of budget and buy the same amount every paycheck. So, you know, you take a percentage of your paycheck, you do your budget, whatever it is. Let's say you have an extra like $200 when it's all said and done. You buy 3 ounces or 4 ounces of silver. You just kind of have a set dollar amount. I think that's how most people do it. But you could just buy the same amount of ounces. The only issue with that is like, maybe you can't afford it or whatever. Let's say you've been buying 10 ounces a week or a month. Now it's $600 for 10 ounces of silver. That's nuts. Think about it, those 100-ounce bars. You know what I mean? 100-ounce bar of silver. $6,000. I remember when a 100-ounce bar of silver was like 1,500. 1,500 out the door. Now you 4x that. Are we living in a simulation or what? Hey, what up? Vote for Pedro. Good to see you in the chat. I'm trying to read the chat and I got the Q&A in the chat, so I got like multiple things going on. I'm trying to hit it all, but I'm trying to get to these questions. I've done about 10. I'm trying to answer as many as I can. I think we've been going like 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Yeah, we can try and get to a bunch of the questions. But we're hanging out, we're celebrating. I mean, that's really what's going on. This is like a party. All right, let's see here. Thoughts on a bank short squeeze? Their losses must be massive. Yeah, think about that. The banks with the short position, I think a lot of the banks are kind of trying to exit or get out, because think about some of the banks who are making silver price predictions for next year, and they're saying, oh, it's going to 62, it's going to 65. Do you think they're really holding a short position when they're predicting silver to go up? No, I'm not really seeing anything like that from JP Morgan. And I think they're sort of the classic one people think about when it comes to shorting silver. So, who knows? But the thing about JP Morgan is they have theoretically like 900 million ounces in their vault. I don't know if it's all there. I have no idea how much is actually there. But, they kind of balance out. If they're shorting it and the price goes up, it kind of balances out, right? So, yeah, no, the banks, if a bank's got a big short position on silver, someone's getting fired today. Someone's getting fired today. Because silver's over 60. I mean, come on, do your math, do your homework. Look at what gold did. I mean, this is basically inevitable, right? All right, so another question here. Even though silver is $60, dealers aren't paying close to that. If I was thinking about selling some, you think it's best to let the price settle? Yeah, great question. I mean, again, I'm not selling. I don't think now's. It's different for everyone, okay? I don't think now is the best, most optimal time to sell, but it could be. Like, let's say in some hypothetical world, you were to sell right now, and then silver goes down to like, let's just say $40. All right. Seems crazy, but crazier things have happened. Was it a good time to? Yeah, absolutely. Right. So I'm not saying like, oh, you can't sell, but I'm saying I'm not selling. I think it's going way higher. And that's not really why I bought silver, to like sort of profit on it and sell it, and kind of, that's not really why I bought it. So, as far as getting rid of it right now, dealers paying under spot. Look, even if a dealer's paying $5 under spot right now, which kind of seems wild, but some of them are. I've seen the videos out there. Some dealers are paying $5 under. Whatever. That's what they're paying. You're still making $55 an ounce when you sell your silver. Okay, think about that. Just a month ago, that was the all-time high. Yeah, one month ago, the all-time high was 50, right? So you're selling at $5 back, but it's still wild money. I don't know. If you really want to sell, to be honest, I'd just do it today. If you really want to sell, even if they're paying back. I mean, but who knows? I would certainly not sell all of it. I would certainly, if I wanted to sell, I would sell a little bit and kind of wait and see, because I do think it's going higher. But again, I'm not selling. Are you hearing about, this is from Silver State Stacker 777, are you hearing about gold/silver tokenization? Same old dog, just a new trick. Your thoughts? Yeah. Not into it. I'm not into it. I understand there is the possibility to have gold and silver backed cryptos and tokens and NFT and currencies and all that stuff. But look, at this point, are you really going to trust it? Are you? With everything that's going on, are you going to trust? I mean, we don't even trust when the futures were down for 10 hours, the official narrative. I don't trust it. And we talked about this earlier. I'll probably bring it back up because it's been a little bit of time now, but I don't even trust that. So if someone's got a gold, silver, token, crypto, whatever, I won't trust it. It's just not in my nature. And I think that's the whole reason I buy gold and silver to begin with, because I don't trust the dollar. So, you know, I don't know. It's probably going to happen. Some people will like it. I probably won't like it. I don't know that I'll probably ever promote it or talk about it on my channel. And to be kind of like honest with you guys, I've had an obscene amount of companies come to me trying to promote crypto and you know, oh, it's a gold backed silver. If you saw how many emails, like it's like daily, obscene amount of companies trying to promote that stuff on my channel. And I just never talk. I don't want to promote it. I don't think it's smart. So that's not me. Someone else will promote it. They can talk about it. That's fine. That's not me. That's not what I like. I want to buy it. I want to hold it. I want to know that I own it. I don't want any counterparty risk. If there's a token, you're going to have counterparty risk. You have to. That's the nature of it. There's on-ramps, off-ramps. You need the internet. You need the regulators. You need all these things. So you don't have any of that when it comes to gold and silver. Zero counterparty risk. The only risk you have with gold and silver, physical metal, is that you're going to lose it or it will be stolen. That's the only risk, right? Or the price goes down, but again, you still have your metals, so it doesn't really matter. If you measure your wealth in ounces, not in dollars, then it literally doesn't matter what happens to the price because you still have the same amount of ounces. But let's go back to this real quick. There's a lot of new people here. If you didn't see my video yesterday, I tried to break it down as best as I could. The outage, all right. It just keeps getting wilder. CME had an outage and there was no futures markets or options for like 10, 11 hours. Hey, Real Jack, thank you for the super chat. I can appreciate, yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I got you. All right, so what was I saying? Oh, yeah, CME Group, they came out, they said, all right, there was a cooling issue. Everyone's like, how can it be a cooling issue when it's freezing outside? Then they come out and said, okay, it was too cold. They didn't drain the water towers. They froze, and there was a chiller plant malfunction, and that's why the market was down for 10 hours. And again, this happened like, you know, Thanksgiving night, Black Friday morning. And so they're saying it's human error. You know, one dude forgot to drain the tower. But then, again, the more I read about it, it's like they plan for this stuff. Like, you don't have to drain the tower if it's got antifreeze in it, right? Like, they're not filling it with water. This isn't the 1940s. I mean, look, technology is at the point right now where it should be impossible for the market to go down. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't think we're ever going to get to the bottom of that thing. I think, you know, they put out the story. They're like, well, take it or leave it. And a lot of people aren't going to take it, but it's pretty shady. It's pretty shady. They can just, with the click of a button, with the click of a mouse, turn off all the markets. No trading, zero trading. Sorry, guys. We got a little backroom deal we got to do. They want to pull out too much silver. It's going to break everything. Silver's going to go to $1,000, you know, $10,000 an ounce if we don't do this. Everyone will find out there's literally no silver left. So we got to do this little deal, and then we'll turn the markets back on. Right? It's like, is this even real? I mean, come on. And that to top it all off, 11 hours later, everything's back to normal, like nothing happened. But if it froze, if it really did freeze like you're saying, it should take way longer than that to fix the problem. And all the other instances when there was a chiller plant failure, it was days or weeks, even months to get everything back online. So, Sketchtown, USA. Go check out my video yesterday if you missed it. But let's get back to the elephant in the room. Silver prices over $60 an ounce. And gold silver ratio is below 70-1 for the first time in 4 years. This is nuts. This is nuts. I mean, we're almost to 61 at this point. I know I showed futures. They're already at 61. Look at this, 60.94. We might actually hit $61 an ounce while we're live. We might do it. Oh, wouldn't that be great? $61 an ounce for silver. Wow. What do you guys think is going to happen tomorrow? I'm on record. I've said I think it's probably going to dip tomorrow. Buy the rumors, sell the news. That's what happened last time. I think it's going to dip. You guys think it's going up? You think it's going to settle? Something's going to happen tomorrow, right? I mean, Fed's probably going to lower rates. 9-1. 9-1 shot. Fed's lowering rates. What happens? Yeah, people are saying up. A lot of people are saying up. I kind of feel like it could go down initially and then actually end the day up. It could end the day up tomorrow. I mean, everything right now is like massively bullish for silver. So there's kind of no reason to think it's going down, except that's kind of what happened last time when they lowered rates. It went down, but then it recovered so fast. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're going to buy, like, should you buy today or tomorrow? I don't know. I honestly don't know. We're going day to day at this point. But I do have a great video coming out tomorrow. The guys at the coin shop reacting to $60 silver. Very, very fun. Thanks, Bay Area Finds, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Great work. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that, my friend. Let's get to a few more questions. We do have the live Q&A going. Can I ask you guys a quick favor? We have almost 1,900 people watching. Would you please take 1 second to hit the thumbs up on the live stream? If you like silver going over $60 an ounce, smash that thumbs up button. It does help a little bit. It helps tell YouTube that this is interesting, people like this, and help spread the word about silver to maybe people who have never heard about it before. So just take 1 second, smash that thumbs up. If you're on your phone, sometimes you got to exit out of the live chat, hit the thumbs up, and then come back to the live chat. But I really appreciate it. Let's try and get to 1,000 likes, huh? I think we can do it. All right. Let's see here. Next question. When do you think the AI bubble is going to burst? Do you think gold and silver will jump when it happens? Great question. I feel like AI is, personally, I feel like it's kind of sort of still getting started. As far as the bubble bursting, I have no idea. I've literally, it could happen tomorrow. It could happen in 5 years. Like, I literally don't know. And as far as gold and silver jumping up, probably not on the day. Probably not on the day. I mean, usually, like, when there's a big dip in the markets, and if the AI bubble pops, you bet your bottom dollar we're going to see a big dip in the markets, right? I mean, obviously, that's the whole thing. NASDAQ get cratered, right? Tech stocks cratered. If that happens, usually on the day we will see gold and silver drop, but then recover and shoot up. So, yeah, I would expect that. If we see that, then it's like a massively good buying opportunity for metals. You buy them right when they dip, like the day of, day after, and then just ride them back up, and they will go up. When do I eat Christmas dinner? Great question. Great question. I think we're gonna have dinner at like 2 o'clock. It's kind of like a late lunch, and then you just kind of snack. I feel like. What do you guys do for Christmas dinner? Let me know in the chat. By the way, we're so close to 1,000 likes. We're at 992. 4 more people. Hit that thumbs up. Let's go. All right. Here we go. Do you prefer physical silver or an ETF? Silver Dragons, give us your thoughts. We are so curious. Funny. Funny. No, obviously I prefer physical silver. I don't think I own any silver ETFs. I don't. I have bought them before just to kind of see how it works and kind of mess around with it, but I don't think I own any. I own a few like gold stocks and things like that, miners, but no silver ETFs. I prefer the physical. I love the physical. No counterparty risk, no on ramps, no off ramps. Other than premiums when you're buying and stuff like that. All right. Next question. Other than buffaloes or maples, what kind of a premium over spot should I expect if I sell fancier ounces like kookaburras or eagles? You know, right now everything's so crazy. You're probably looking at like spot. To be honest, a lot of dealers are probably around spot when you're saying over spot, but that's sort of not really like. Maybe when silver's at $50, that was the case. Now that it's at 60, I kind of doubt that dealers are going to be still over spot on kookaburras and eagles. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. But yeah, from what I've seen, it's kind of like spot is sort of like really good if you can get that at most places. Just because it's so volatile and everyone's worried about, is it going to drop? What's it going to do? We are so close to $61, by the way. All right. Let's see. Next question here. I bought some numismatic from mystery packs, not really knowing much about it. Should I hold, sell, or trade? Bought some numismatic. All right, so like coin collecting. Yeah, that stuff is like so risky, and it's so, I mean, it's almost always you lose money. Yeah, I don't know. If you like it, hold it. If not, trade it for some silver. Trade it for some silver ounces. I like silver more than numismatics right now. A lot more. Do you know what's the historical one-time jump in silver 24 hours? Great question. You probably got to go back to, well, the most we've seen in a year is 400%. I'm trying to think on the day, though. Someone in the chat probably knows. What was the biggest jump? I wonder if I could just, like, here, let me try and, like, Google it real quick. It's got to be, like, what, $10? Back in the 80s? What's the biggest one day jump for silver price? Yeah. $24? No way. That seems way too much. Was it? From $6 to, okay, yeah, they're saying in like a year. Now I want one day jump. Come on. Yeah, it went down 50% in a day. We know that. $5? Not exactly sure. The biggest I've seen recently was that $3 jump. But I feel like back in the 80s, there was a day where it went like crazy on one day. Yeah, I don't know. The biggest I've seen is $3 in one day. That was sort of recently. So, yeah, that's a great question, and it's kind of hard to find the answer to. So, yeah, that might take a little more digging into. And one of the reasons it's kind of hard to know is like back in the 80s or 70s. You know, the data was like, you got to phone in. They didn't have like the internet, right? Like we have it today. So it wasn't like people were keeping track on their phone. You got to like literally call in to the stock market, Wall Street. What's silver today? You know, that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, look at this. 434% jump, 1979. 1 year, that was the Hunt brothers. And now, the second biggest jump ever. So, outside of that anomaly, this is the best year silver has ever had. Up 109% on the year. Craziness. This is a great year. This is a great year for silver. And if we rinse and repeat this, what if we go 100% next year? We're looking at $120 an ounce. 120 if we rinse and repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. That's what we want. Not necessarily in that order. The inflation adjusted, this is actually really interesting. So in 2011, come on, this chart is so finicky. Come on. All right, there we go. Nobody breathe. Nobody touch it. No. Okay. April 2011, the inflation adjusted high for silver, almost $70 an ounce. So we still got to go up 10 more dollars. Remember, the nominal high was right around 49, but if you adjust for inflation, you got to go up to 69. So just think about that. All right. We still got to go up 10 more dollars to get to the 2011 inflation adjusted all-time high. And that was a high that was outside of an anomaly like the Hunt brothers. So that was, I would say, panic buying. That was, people flooding into silver. It's going to go to 100. That was definitely like the height, right, of the craziness. But still, you want the inflation adjusted for 1980, $145. And this is using the twisted inflation metrics. This is using the CP lie to get to 145. If you use the actual inflation metrics, the numbers are hard to compute, but it's like 300 to 600 or something. It's crazy numbers for silver. We're so far off of those. But even if we could get to 145, because we know gold went above its inflation adjusted all-time high. It's already done it. Gold hit a nominal high and an inflation adjusted all-time high. Silver, yes, we've hit a nominal high. We've got a long ways to go to get to the inflation adjusted. So here's the historical chart. What was the other thing I wanted to show? Oh, yeah, the annual average price. I showed this earlier, but we're over 40, which is so cool to see. The average price for this year above 40. And if you just look at this chart as a whole, silver is doing so good year after. It just steadily climbs up. This is why people like silver. They like gold. It's safe, right? It can have crazy swings, but it's safe. And generally, as the dollar is going down, metals are going up. So someone said that we hit 61. We're so close to 61. Can we do it? Can we do it? We did get over 1,100 likes. Thank you, guys. That is so very cool. I'm going to get to a few more questions. What is it? 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock on the East Coast. When do kids get out of school? What time? I'm not even sure. My kids are homeschooled, so. 6097. By the way, speaking of my kids and their school, my 11-year-old, his math is so hard. It's so hard. I was struggling. I mean, I got like most of the questions right, but some of those questions are tough. Math is getting tough. All right. Be that as it may, let's go back to silver. Let's see here. How many ounces of gold are actually in Fort Knox? Great question. Great question. What do you guys think? 0? No, they have the veneer wall of paint, silver leaf over some iron bars or whatever it is. There's some gold in Fort Knox. Probably not as much as they say, but I don't know. It's so what could they have done with it? Sold it all off, secretly moved it out of there? Is it in bunkers around the country instead of in Fort Knox? Does the U.S. still have the gold, but it's just not there? So many questions, so many unanswered questions. We thought we were going to get the little peek inside this year. It didn't happen. They weren't even courteous enough to do like the whole, oh, look at the gold, but they're actually not going to count it or assay it or anything. They didn't even do that for us. It was just talk. It was all nothing. So kind of a lame year for figuring out Fort Knox. Maybe next year we'll actually get some results. I'm not holding my breath. But if I had to guess, how many ounces are there? I really don't know. The cynic in me says probably not very many. But in reality, it's probably close to what they're saying. Probably. I don't know. Maybe not. 50-50 on that. You tell me in the comment section how much gold is in Fort Knox. But why does it matter? How much gold is in your pocket? That's how much. That's what matters. How much silver is in your pocket? How much silver do you got? How many ounces do you have? Right? Not the nation, because the nation isn't going to bail you out. The nation's not going to bail you out. Okay, next question. Do you think let's see, environmental restrictions on mining and refining will relax? Yeah, I do think they will. I think that's something they're working on here in the USA. Silver is now a critical mineral. So, with silver becoming a critical mineral, I think they're going to want to be mining more of it, obviously. Yeah, I do see that happening this year. Or next year, rather. We're kind of to the end of this year. What are my thoughts on platinum? I had a breakout recently. Silver rally having a late impact on it. All right, yeah, let's take a little look-see at platinum. Platinum's done really well this year. I mean, hey, look at this. It started the year out at 900. We're at 1,700 for platinum. My issue with platinum is that it was never really a monetary metal. So what I mean by that is it was never really used as money. It was discovered way later, like what, 1700s or something. So it just hasn't stood the test of time like gold and silver had. Gold and silver have always been money. They're much easier to mine, refine, work with, all that kind of stuff. So I strongly prefer gold and silver over platinum. That being said, I do own a tiny little bit of physical platinum, like barely over an ounce. But the other issue with platinum is that the premiums typically are kind of wild on platinum. Like, I don't even know if you can get an ounce of platinum for under $2,000. You probably could still, maybe. I'm not sure. But I'm just not a huge believer in platinum. I think a lot of it is for industry, and it's going to catalytic converters. And you know, are those going to be a big thing in 20 years from now? You got to be looking at the future, right? So, like with gold and silver, silver is 1 penny away from 61. Let's go. When you're looking at the future, what is the world going to need more of? Is it going to need gold? Obviously. Gold is money. The banks need gold. They have to have gold. The central banks are buying up insane amounts. The world needs gold. As far as silver is concerned, 10 years, 20 years, all the charts are saying we're going to need more silver. We're going to need more silver for solar panels, medical, cell phones, electric cars, batteries, you name it. However you're watching this live stream, whether it's on your phone, TV, computer, whatever, silver is involved, okay? So you look at all of the, future needs for metals. Silver, absolutely, we're going to need more and more of it. AI, data centers, etc. So with silver, I'm like, okay, we need a lot of it now. We're going to need a lot more of it in the future. Silver just seems way more appealing to me than something like platinum, where it's like, okay, yes, it's sometimes used in jewelry. Yeah, they do put it in cars for now. But like, what about in 20 years? What about in 50 years? Are they really going to be using that much platinum? Are they going to discover something that's better, or a combination of platinum and palladium, iridium, whatever? I don't know. I'm not a huge believer in it. So platinum's done very well this year. If you own platinum, you're probably not complaining. It's up almost 100%. Not quite as good as silver, though. But still very, very good. And especially compared to other things like cryptos and a lot of stocks and stuff like that. So, all right. Let's see. Thoughts on Costco precious metals. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Costco. Look, Costco is bringing awareness about gold and silver to the general public, which I think is awesome. I think it's incredibly awesome. So I actually am a fan of Costco selling precious metals. And look, if you're a buyer, you want the competition. If you're buying silver, buying gold, you want more places to have it and compete on price. And, I got a lower premium. So as a consumer, I think it's great. Yeah. Sell it, Costco. Put the word out there. This is a thing that people want. It's at Costco. I have no problems with it. Now, if they lower their price on hot dogs, then we got a problem. Or the pizza, the pepperoni pizza. I don't know what they're putting in that thing, but man, I could go for a slice right now. Someone want to DoorDash me some? No, I'm just kidding. We're good. All right, I'm trying to get through the questions. We have a live Q&A going. We are how far into this are we? We are over an hour into the stream. Silver is over $60 an ounce. We're celebrating. We're having fun. Just reading through some of the questions. I appreciate all of you hanging out. We didn't quite hit $61 silver. We are still very close. We'll see where it goes, but GSR is officially below 70 for the first time in 4 years. This is a historic day for precious metals. I'm happy to be here, happy to be alive. Loving it. Loving it. Let's get to a few more questions. Let's see here. Is it good to stack silver if you live in South Africa or Mozambique? They are countries that have both gold and silver. All right. I'm going to answer this question a little bit different way. Is it good to stack silver if you live fill in the blank? Okay. Anywhere in the world. And my answer is going to be yes. It is money anywhere in the world. I don't care if the country is the number one miner of silver. You know, they're pulling out 1 million ounces. It doesn't matter. I think it is good to stack silver no matter where you live. And then, you know, obviously if you move, you can bring the silver or gold with you, etc. So, yeah, I would say it is good to be stacking if you live there. Some places it's obviously a lot harder to get silver than others. Some places they tax it more. You know, look at European countries, stuff like that. Germany, I think, just redid their tax this year on silver. So, you know, I understand that. Maybe you want to go heavier on gold if you live in one of those countries. But if you live in America, they're basically always treated the same, gold and silver. So, you know, I'm loving silver. I still think silver's a great buy. I'm not selling any of my silver, even at this price. And, you know, with the gold silver ratio coming down, it's at 70. I still think, you know, hey, silver's great to be buying. If the GSR gets below 60, then I'm kind of like, maybe I kind of want to be buying gold instead, but we're not there yet. I think you're still kind of jumping the gun. So with it right at 70, this is kind of like the sweet spot for me where I'm like, I could buy gold or silver. What's a better deal for the day? What does the coin shop have, or what sale is going on? Kind of what do I want to buy? That type of a thing. But until the ratio gets below 60, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm still buying silver, loving it. Next question here. I'm from Orlando. Who wants to go with me? Oh, to the fun show. Let's go. Let's go to the fun show. It's in like a month. Let's go to the fun show, guys. Let's have some fun. Silver is worth more than a barrel of oil. How long will that last? Whoa, is it? You know, I was just driving yesterday past a gas station relatively near to me, and it was like $3.50 or something for a gallon of gas. I was like, man, that's like kind of not that bad, really. $3.50. I mean, I've seen it a lot higher. We all remember during COVID what happened. I did not realize that silver is worth more than a barrel of oil. Let's double check that. We want to make sure we're being accurate here. I don't have someone to pull it up for me. I got to do it. So let's look pricing for barrel of oil. What is the crude oil price? 58. No way. It's 58 today. Crude oil. I'll show you guys. We can all look together. $58.40 right here. That's the price. Wow. How about that? Okay. Silver is worth 1 ounce of silver is worth more than a barrel of oil. An entire barrel. Does that include the drum, or is that just the quantity? Like if I go buy a barrel of oil, do you know if you actually get the barrel? I don't think you do. I'm pretty sure you don't. I'm pretty sure if you go buy a barrel of oil, like in that sense, you're just buying the quantity of oil. I don't think you get the physical barrel, which is kind of cool though, because you can use it to, like, I don't know, burn some wood in or something. Or I don't know, you stack them up. I don't know what you're doing with the barrels, but either way, 1 single ounce of silver. That's wild. I don't know how long it's going to last. Maybe forever. What if it does? What if the ounce of silver to oil barrel ratio is now in favor of silver forever, and silver just keeps going up? That would be kind of insane to see. I mean, it could happen. We could never go back again. I mean, think about it. Silver could be, we're way above 50 now, but now that we've cracked 60, I mean, there could be no looking back. And everyone said, okay, once silver hits 50, it's a quick run up to 60. Once it hits 60, it's a quick run up to 70. Where's that meme that I showed earlier? We hit 50. We hit 60. It's a quick run up to 70. And it really truly is. So, yeah, I don't know. Could keep going up. I think it probably will. I think next year we hit 70. I mean, it still could happen this year. We've had a day where silver went up $3. Today it went up $2.50. Could we hit 70 this year? We've got 3 weeks left. A lot of things could happen. A lot of year left. I'd be kind of surprised, but I mean, hey, I'm surprised that it went to 60, to be honest. My prediction for this year was way off. What did I say? I said silver was going to hit $34 or something. I mean, it started the year at 28, so I feel like, I was a really, really conservative prediction. It's going to go up a little bit. Silver has blown away all of my expectations. So if it goes to 70, I'm actually not going to be surprised because it's already gone far beyond I thought was possible. So nothing's really going to surprise me at this point. But hey, I think it's a great time to own silver. I'm happy to be owning silver. Let's see. Let me get a couple more questions here. Vote for Pedro's got a fun one. Ever fill your bathtub with mercury dimes and play Scrooge McDuck? You know what? I have not done that, but it does sound like a lot of fun. That's a lot of mercury dimes, though. Oh, spoiler alert. I will let this slip. My video coming out tomorrow that I filmed today at Harry's Coin Shop, they have no mercury dimes left. They got wiped out. All of them got bought out again. That's not like the like title of the video or like sort of the most notable thing in the video, but that is mentioned in the video, and I do show it. It's kind of crazy. They continuously get bought out of mercury dimes. People love those things. I love them too, so I'm not really that surprised. But yeah, filling up the bathtub would be hilarious. All right, so we got Jess here saying $65 silver by the end of the week. Certainly is possible. Do I think there could be a big drop in silver? Good question from North Star Stacker. I actually do think there could be a big drop in silver. If especially if there is like a cratering of the stock market. We've seen silver have huge drops before. Let's go back in time. There's a few times it's happened when the stock market dropped. So in 2020, this is pre-COVID, silver was 18. COVID news breaks out, panic breaks out, silver goes down to 12. Okay, so that's a pretty big drop from 18 to 12, in a month. So could silver go to 40 if the stock market gets cratered? Yeah, totally could. And then the other one that everyone likes to look at is this one back here. Silver in 2008 was 19. It went all the way down to 9. Okay. So got cut in half in just a couple of months. I guess it's more like 6 months, but still. We all remember 2008 financial crisis. Look, if something like that happens now, I do expect gold and silver to go down initially. But then it's what happens after, right? Because in the years after that, silver went down to 9, but then it went up to 50 or 48 or whatever it was. All right, so if it goes down, consider that a blessing and a massive buying opportunity. Same thing with COVID. Zoom in on the chart. Yeah, silver went down to 12, but then it went up to 29. So if silver goes down to 40, it's coming back strong and going to 120. So, are we going to see a dip? I'm not sure. I don't really expect it. But if we did, you better believe I'm making videos saying buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, because we've seen this time and time again. We know how the story plays out. That would be such a blessing for those of us who are wanting to stack more silver, or maybe those of us, not me included, but those of you all who are just getting started on silver. If we saw it go to 40, it would be like the best possible scenario, because then you could load up, hopefully, right? Load up on silver if it's not all bought out and sold out everywhere, and the premiums aren't too outrageous, which they could be. But let's say, in some hypothetical scenario, silver goes down to 40 and you are able to load up on it. That is best case scenario. And then it jacks up to 120 or whatever it does. I'm not saying I think that's going to happen. That could happen. But here's the other thing too, is if silver does go down to 40, I'm going to be saying buy, buy, buy. I'm going to be buying like crazy. But I guarantee there's a lot of people out there who are going to say, oh my gosh, silver went from 60 to 40. We got to get out of this. We got to sell, cut our losses. This was a bad idea. We shouldn't have bought silver, and it shakes out all the weak hands. And, that is like the opposite of what you want to be doing. And people are going to say, oh, silver, it's just a big run up. It's done this twice before. It goes up and then it crashes. But I think it's different this time. I really think things are different in the sense that the world needs so much more silver than we did. Think about back in like the 80s, right? How much silver was being used for technology? How much? Virtually none. I mean, there was some silver being used for photography and stuff back then, which we don't really use now. But a lot of that silver was recoverable, because remember, they would take the photos and then you use silver to turn them from a negative into a photo. But the silver was suspended in the solution, and a lot of silver is being used for that. But then when that solution was like used up, it could be recovered. Okay. But we don't do that anymore. So think about how much silver was being used in the 80s, how much silver was even being used in like 2011 when we had that last run up. Not even close to what we're using today. Not even close. And the charts are just going up and up and up for how much silver we're using now and how much is projected to be used in the next 10 years. So things are way different. The world is way different right now. All right, I know I just kind of went on a little bit of a rant there, but I think silver is still low, even at 60. I think that's kind of a crazy take, maybe, but I actually think it's still low. If silver goes to 100, then I'll be like, all right, we're kind of in there, Seems legit, seems decent, but probably still low. Honestly, probably still low. But man, what if it does go to 100 next year? I mean, this year we're already up. Where's the chart? Already up over 100% this year. So if we go up 100% again next year, if we do lather, rinse, repeat, you're at $120 silver. So, I mean, and I don't know. And the other thing too is like when you look at a lot of these like runs on silver, like in 2010 when silver went up 80% in that one year. Look at all the years leading up to it. It's like good year for silver, good year, good year, good year. Then there was obviously 2008. We already talked about that, but then it was like 2 great years back to back. So could we have another great year next year? Absolutely. Absolutely we could. And I think that's kind of the number that people are looking at, a hundo. And again, I haven't officially made my prediction for 2026 yet. I will be making that on December 18th, which is in 9 days, on the Silver Pros podcast. I'm going to publicly say what I think silver's doing next year. And again, it's going to be a big number. Could be totally wrong, but, it's just a guess. Let's get to 3 more questions. Let's try and do that. And again, I appreciate all of you being here. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. We still have 1,700 people watching and celebrating as silver has gone over $60 an ounce for the first time ever. Let's see. The sellers have been shaken out by now, do you think? Or let me read it one more time. The sellers have been shaken out by now, you think? That is a good question. I don't think. And again, I'm going to mention my video tomorrow, but I filmed it today. There was a lot of silver at the coin shop that was probably sold to them by stackers. And I pointed out in the video, but the reason I know is there was American Silver Eagles in the case that they had bought from the public, and the Silver Eagles were in capsules, and some of them were like black ring capsules, white ring capsules. Regular people are not doing that. That's a stacker. They loved their silver. They spend an extra 50 cents or $1 on the capsule. And, you know, they wanted to look at it, display it, whatever. They sold. But there are so many stackers that haven't even started selling yet, myself included. I don't think all the sellers have been shaken out. I think a lot of the general public who has, you know, silverware and sets and things like that, I think a lot of them have been shaken out. But I think I would say probably at least half or more of the heavy stackers haven't even started selling. I would think. But I could be wrong on that. I don't know. Next question here. What service do you use to look up spot price or market price value of metals? I like to use the Kitco app. I think a lot of people use that. Usually when I post on like Instagram, I'll use the Kitco app. And if you use anything else, people are like, oh, nope, that's not the right price. So I think a lot of the coin shops use it. I think that's kind of what most people use nowadays for that type of stuff. 999 metals going forward. Is constitutional silver still a good value? I absolutely think it is. I think it's never changed whether or not it's good for barter. And I actually did put out a barter video earlier this year, and kind of like not that many people watched it, which I get. That's like not my normal content. It was kind of just sort of out of the blue. Hey, the barter video. But we literally went down to the local farmers market, me and Mike from Portland Precious Metals. He's a coin shop owner here. Shout out, Mike. What's up, dude? We literally went out and we got like almost everyone was willing to take silver for food. So we got vegetables and fruit and meats and spices and, you know, breads. We got all these different types of food, and we were able to trade our silver for them. I even bought soap and like some other stuff. It was a really fun video, although I will say, like, half the people in the video are wearing sunglasses, and I had to blur out, because I don't show my face on my channel, so I had to blur it out. It took forever to do that, and a lot of people commented, like, oh, what is up with that? You know, he's, like, blurring out half the video. It's like, hey, man, it's like, you know, that's kind of my thing, but be that as it may, I think constitutional silver is a great value if you want to hold it for barter. If you want to hold it to resell in the future, that's fine. I think a lot of it is still getting melted. I think a lot of refiners are melting junk silver even now. They're starting to take it again and melt it. Some of it they're reselling, but a lot of it is getting melted. A lot of it got melted in the past. I think it's a really good thing to have and hold on to for the long haul. Junk silver. Ideally, I would like to hold my junk silver until I die, just pass it down to my kids. But if I ever need to use it for barter and stuff like that, I'm going to be so happy that I have it. So for me, it's a buy and hold. And I think it is still a good value as far as purchasing it, because a lot of places are still selling it under spot. All right. Let's see here. What are people seeing as the new top since it hit 60? Oh, okay. Great question. Silver price. What's the new top for silver price? The banks are saying, what, 62 to 65 next year, which seems like crazy low to me now. We're almost at 62 right now. I think it was like Citibank or something was like, oh, 62 next year. No, I think a lot of people are saying 70 is kind of the general idea for where silver is going next year. You know, 70, 75, something like that, like on the conservative side. But there's a lot of people saying a hundo, triple digits. I don't know. It kind of feels weird to throw out that number, you know, hundo, silver's going to a hundo. because this has happened before, and people are like, silver's going to a hundo, and then it stopped at 49 or whatever. But like I said before, things are so much different now. The world is so much different. We're using up so much silver. Gold is so much more expensive than it was back then. I mean, it was like $1,200. We could look, actually. I got the chart right here. What are we doing? Let's just look. In 2011, what was the high for gold? Yeah. Okay, 1800. My mistake. But okay, 19. It didn't quite hit 2000, but still, gold went to 50. Sorry, silver went to 50 when gold was, call it 2000. All right. Now gold's 4,000. Just makes sense. Silver could go to a hundo. And we're not in the mania phase yet. We know we're not in the mania phase yet. We're kind of starting to get there. Like a lot of the coin shops, they do got lines out front. I've seen it. People waiting for them to open. A lot of people in there. I mean, when I left Harry's Coin Shop today, there was like, I don't know, probably 15 people in there trying to buy, sell, trade, whatever. But it was packed. Like I was like squeezing past people to get out. Like, yeah, all right, see you guys later. So I think people are kind of starting to wake up, but we're not in the mania phase yet. Still way too early for that. So I think silver still got a long way to run up. Thanks for being here, guys. This is super fun. I love doing these lives. It's just fun, Silver going to 60. If silver goes to 70, I'll do another live. All right. I did one when silver hit 50, which was absolutely nuts. Now it's hit 60. We're celebrating. We're partying. If it goes to 70, we'll do another one. If it goes to 80, we'll just do it every $10 increment because I think it's a big deal. I mean, it really is a big deal. Unless I'm like out of town or something, I can't do it. I'll try and do it every time. And the GSR going below 70 is a huge deal. First time in 4 years we've seen this. So, big day for silver. Okay, I'll take one more question. I'll take one more. And it was someone commenting on the risks of owning silver. They say another risk, confiscation. It's not really a question, but it is an interesting point. So, silver and gold, if you look back in history, they were both nationalized kind of in different ways, but the one everyone talks about is gold, right? 1933, FDR, forced to sell your gold to the government. But that was when the dollar was backed by gold. So I don't think that could happen now. I don't think it will happen. I don't think it could or would happen with silver either, especially when the government is selling precious metals. So the government would need to stop selling them. There would be signs, that's not happening now. The U.S. government is literally selling gold and silver right now. So they're not going to be forcing you to sell to them, right? But at the same time, a confiscation would be them taking it and not giving you any money for it. If they're paying you for it, that's nationalization. So it is different. And that's what happened in the past. A lot of people get that wrong. And I think it's just easier to say, oh, the gold is all confiscated. And sure, I probably even said it in other videos. But the reality is it was nationalized. You did get paid for it. They didn't just take it for nothing. But then, they did kind of double the price the next year. And it was a little shady, obviously. Super shady. I actually don't think that is a risk. People do talk about it. Things like that have happened before in the past, but I actually don't think it's a risk. And one of the reasons too is that you could just bury it, right? I don't have any. I lost it in a fishing accident, whatever. It's just buried somewhere. So yeah, they're not. And even back in the day when they forced everyone to sell their gold, it's not like they were going door to door with guns. Where's your gold? They didn't do that. So it's kind of like a voluntary thing, right? But either way, I think you would see them stop selling it first. There would be signs, obviously, and I just don't see it happening because we're not backed by silver or gold anymore. The currency is not backed by anything like that, so there's no reason for them to do it. I suppose with silver, if we need it for like military, maybe in some crazy future where the world does run out of silver and it's like, we desperately need silver for the military, you know, everybody's got to everybody's got to pitch in, bring in your silverware, you know, whatever. But we are nowhere near anything like that right now, and I don't see that happening. That's kind of an outlandish scenario. But yeah, so I don't see confiscation in the future in any sense for gold or silver. I actually kind of feel like it'd be more likely that like your crypto would get confiscated. The government's going to just be like, up, no more crypto, or up, crazy regulations. You know, I think that's way more likely because that's easy, right? They just pass a law. You know, you're not going door to door. It's all digital. If the government wants to confiscate your crypto, unless you got it in cold storage, and I'm not going to get into all that stuff, but it's way easier to do for crypto than it is. And also just like your regular bank account, like your dollars, all that digital stuff, way more easy to confiscate than something physical. All right. We are over an hour and a half into this. I think that's probably going to wrap it up. I think we're going to wrap it up there. One more time, let's run down. Silver's almost $61 an ounce. It is up $2.59 today. That's a massive jump. Over 4%. Gold silver ratio, massive dip. We're below 70 for the first time in 4 years. On the same day that the dollar is up. So the reason metals are going up is different than normal. It's not like this normal thing where dollar gets crushed, metals are up. It's different. We have the Fed meeting tomorrow. 9-1 chance that the Fed is going to be lowering rates. All of that info came out today. The backlog of info, all the October jobs reports, the JOLTS report, U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics put it out today at 10 a.m. Eastern, and that's when precious metals started skyrocketing. In fact, I woke up at like 6 a.m. Pacific, so an hour before the report came out today, and I was looking at the price of silver, and I was like, all right, it's up like $1 or 80 cents or something, and then I remember looking after 7 and it was like, whoa, silver's going up. And then when I was at the coin shop, I was like, oh my gosh, we're over 60. And I got a great reaction from Adrian and Richard, and that's going to be in the video tomorrow. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get a rate cut tomorrow, which is why I think precious metals are skyrocketing today. Buy the rumors, sell the news. As I mentioned, I think we might have a little bit of a dip tomorrow. Especially right when they do the rate cut. It's kind of the sell the news. We might go back down to 59 or whatever it may be. It could crater. I have literally no idea. But then usually it recovers after that. So that's what we saw last time. Probably going to see something like that again. Maybe not, though. Could be totally wrong. We talked about the CME group. And the 10-hour shutdown, the chiller plant failure. Some dude apparently forgot to drain the tower. Still not buying that. Seems very sketch. I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of that. I think they clicked one button on the computer and they shut down the markets because there was some shady backroom deal going on. And you're not going to be able to convince me otherwise on that unless I see solid evidence. Can we interview the guy who was supposed to like drain the water tower or whatever, and like can we like get some eyes on the scene of the damage from the frozen pipes and how they're able to fix it so fast? Like can we see that? I mean, that would help. They could stage it, I guess, but I would like to see that. Let's see, silver, we hit 50, we hit 60, $70 is next. Right around the corner. We'll see. Can we do it by the end of the year? It's certainly possible. Harry said it's possible. So we will see. Let's see. We looked at the amount of silver versus gold being mined this year, 7-1, even though the gold-silver ratio is like 70-1. Something's still out of whack there. We looked at crude oil prices. We saw that an ounce of silver is now more expensive than a barrel of oil. That's like kind of the news of the day, right? That's big news. That really is. And if I didn't do this live stream, I probably wouldn't realize it because someone mentioned it in the chat, and that's what got me to look. But big news. Big news for silver. It's a big day. This is history. We're living history right now. Huge round of applause once again to everyone who has bought silver in the past week, month, year, 10 years. If you ever bought silver before, round of applause. We did it. We're living it, but it's not over yet. This is just the beginning. The world is running out of silver, and we're in the middle of it, and I'm still buying more. I'm going to shut it down here. Stay tuned for my video tomorrow at the coin shop, at Harry's Coin Shop. Great video coming out tomorrow. The guy's reaction is $60 silver. Stay tuned to what silver does tomorrow. We might see a dip. It might keep going up. I literally don't know, but it's going to be fun to watch. Something's going to happen tomorrow because we got the Fed meeting, so something will happen tomorrow with silver price. I highly doubt it's just going to be flat for the day. It's going to go up, down, up. It's going to do something. And then, you know, as they continue to talk, oh, what's happening at the next meeting, we'll see, you know, people start guessing where it's going to go, and then silver's going to move again. So fireworks tomorrow. It's going to be great. Have a great December. Have a great Christmas, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of the community, part of this channel. I appreciate all of you and wish you the very best. Silver Dragons is out.